Well, hello there. It's me, one that is in joy for being here. And yeah, it's without being Sunday, it's actually it is. It's interesting. It hasn't felt like Sunday all day. I went to an amazing concert with Chris Stevenson at my church, and yeah, it's Sunday. So, and it's everyday miracle day. You know, sometimes when those miracles come, we don't always understand the nature of them, you know. Um, so for just a minute, because it is Sunday, uh, how about we talk about this would be just a talk, we'll just call it a talk on, and God doesn't do what you think God is going to do. Yeah, it's happened for me more times than I care to talk about, but here I am talking about it, so yes, I do. Well, a little tired, but very happy to be here. And that's the truth. Sometimes God doesn't do what we expect God to do. The healing doesn't come in the way we wish. The healing comes in the permanent nature of that person now being out of suffering and pain forever. That's amazing, astonishing, wonderful, and not so good for us because now our flesh and bone doesn't have their flesh and bone. Or you're absolutely certain that you feel that God is going to give you that promotion and it doesn't come. You do realize further down the track, you'll realize why, and you go, okay, good. But at that moment, it doesn't feel good. Our flesh and bone is like, that was so important to me because if that happened, then this could happen and I could do this. But God knows you better than you know yourself. And that's kind of normal because He made you. And He knows what would happen with that promotion, and He has something better for you. You just don't realize it. And when you hear today's everyday miracle, you may say, that's not really a miracle. Well, yes, it is. And we'll contest you on that if you wish. But we don't have to. We can just agree to disagree. The reality is, God is God. He's the master of the universe, the omnipotent being, the all-powerful and the all-knowing, bottles our tears, you know, holds us in sorrow. Those were the things we were given, and they're great things. But when God doesn't do what we expect God to do, then all we have is trust. I've been there a few times. Like I said, more than I'd like to. But each one has shown itself to be exactly what it was required to be. Another part in the puzzle of my life that isn't as supposed. You know, it's fascinating, isn't it? That that's the way sometimes God works. You're all preparing yourself for what kind of story is this? Huh? Guess you'll find out. Well, let's leave that there. Let's just call that a little talk about I don't have a title. Let's just call it God Knows. I like that. God Knows and the Everyday Story. It's called Provision God's Way. Oh dear. Let's see if we can get rid of that frog. There he is. There. Somewhat gone. So if you require to reach out to me, it's eric@starthealing.me, eric@starthealing.me, eric@starthealing.me. Reach out, send an email. I'll send you one back. You'll have a link. Book an appointment. We can talk. See if I'm part of your healing puzzle. That one will be without charge. We're just getting to know each other. So, provision God's way. And this story isn't a long one, so we'll just leave it with you and let you and God commune together and know what it means. Well, so just to give this person a name, we'll call him Larry. We can call him anything. He's quite excited because today is his day. He finally got there. 5 years of doing everything possible, late hours, asking forgiveness from his wife and children. This is the day. This is the day where everything pays off, at least. That's what he believes. He's whistling as he gets into the car and he's driving along, and the drive is uneventful. He arrives at work and goes in and he's whistling because today is the day. He's very sure of it. It's been passed over the last 4 years, but he's done a lot of extra stuff this time. Showing up, showing that he knows what he's doing, that he's got the skills, the abilities. His promotion is coming. That's an absolute. Well, it has to. Uh, Medical bills from his daughter, the vet bills for the favorite dog, and size of the house that's too small, cars that are too old. Gotta come. So he's sitting at his desk, and the CEO comes over to him, and he goes, "Okay, now it's going to happen." And the CEO says, "You are a loyal employee, but there's been some issues with the company, and some of them are related to you. So I'm letting you know that today is your last day, and there will be no recommendation from me." And Larry is shattered. What? What did I do? Well, according to this, and he goes, "According to who?" "Well, my son, of course." "Well, yeah. Does he have proof?" "Well, that's my son's word. He doesn't need proof." "Everything I've done." And then God says, "Be quiet." And he goes, "Forget it. I'm leaving now." He said, "I have 6 weeks of vacation coming, plus, according to my contract, 3 months if I'm let go. Correct?" The CEO looks up and goes, "You'll never work in this field again." "We'll see. God knows." "Well, you're done." Yeah. He picks up his 3 items that are his. He's been working there, doing IT, doing architecture, doing everything. This ain't his laptop, but it is his hard drive, and he pops it, walks out the door, walks to his car, sits in his car and goes, God, I don't know what you're doing. I don't get it. He said, this has stolen my heart, my soul, my time from my kids. I thought I was going the right way, but I know that you just said no and tell me to argue this. And if I don't argue it, then my time in IT is done. And he heard very, very, very distinctly, correct. Well, he goes, I'm not sure where this goes, but um, and at that moment there's a ping. His bank is saying it just got a lot richer for a few seconds. The overdraft gets gone, and that was quite significantly over. And the line of credit draws quite a bit of the rest, but there's enough there for a couple of months. He's not sure what he's going to do. He's trying to figure this out. That moment, he gets a message from the church where he has been helping out with the IT and helping them without charge. And he still plans to do so, and at least hope so. So I have to go and get his own laptop. He hasn't had one of those in years. He has a pretty good rig at home. He thinks to himself, well, maybe I won't need one. Maybe I'm not working in this field anymore. He's trying to figure it out, but that text is marked urgent, so he looks at it and it's the church going, not sure what just happened, but and he knew that the CEO was one of the elders, also one on the board. But Larry, don't return to the church. Your gear has been packed and delivered to your house. Larry goes, and God says, be quiet. So Larry goes, thank you, hangs up. Next text is from his wife, who goes, your stuff from the church just got dropped off, and apparently we can't go back there anymore. What happened? And Larry goes, I don't know. God isn't showing me. But my life as an IT architect is over. Done. He is complete, yes. I've got the money, everything's covered. Medical data is covered. I paid us everything at once. I don't know what his son said I did, that probably the son did, but it doesn't matter. This is over. This is done. She said, well, don't worry about it, dear. Come home. Your son has something exciting to share with you, and so do I. But get home. Come to where you are loved. As he starts to drive home, text comes in on something he'd been looking at. It's something he'd been thinking about doing, but there was no time, no effort, no energy for that. He couldn't do it. But to his amazement, the publishing company goes, "That draft, how soon can you have your first book?" I was not doing anything. Sends back, um, I need another 6 weeks to finish the draft. That's fine. Account details, and we'll send you an advance and a contract. Once the contract is signed, he texts us back, send me the contract. He looks it over the contract. Happens to be driving down the road, and oh, there's Bert. Wonder if he'll still talk to me. He's also on the board. Rolls down the window. Hey, Bert. Yeah. Sorry about. Don't worry about it. Things are happening. God knows what he's doing. I'm not an architect. Never been the best one anyway. Whatever that person said I did, well, I can't deal with it. God said no. But I do have a question for you, Bert, because you are a lawyer and you deal with these things, these copyright and all that stuff. And you want to take a look at this for a minute? Buy you a coffee. Bert says, "Well, I have 30 minutes." And I was heading for a coffee. And I do like you, Larry. I don't know what you did. I didn't do anything, but that's okay. It'll never be proven that I did or didn't. Just have to believe my character, I suppose. Bert chuckles and goes, "That would be you, Larry. I suppose you got fired, yeah. Got kicked from the church too. Oh, that's going to be trouble. Nobody else knows that architecture like you." Well, Bert, that's up to God. So he's sitting having coffee, and Bert goes over this. It's a good contract. They must have been really happy with that draft. What are you writing about? He goes, "I'm writing about something nobody knows about me, except for my wife. Not even my kids know this. Something that happened to me in my younger life. I'm writing a fantasy story, 5 books. Set it up, send it to the publisher, and this is what he's sending back. Wow, you should go for this. This is really good. This is really well. There's nothing hidden in here. I've gone over it twice. Okay, so I should sign it? Oh, yeah, I would do that right now." So he does, sends it back, and ping. A few minutes later, there's a ping in his bank, and there's a bit more in there then. Whoo! Well, he goes, "That'll help. That'll pay for the medical for a while." And he goes, "Well, he goes, God is providing, just not in the way I wished." Well, actually, I've always wanted to write this series of books, 5 of them. Got the first one nearly done. It'll be done in 6 weeks. It'll be out. We'll see what happens. Bert said, "I'll buy it. Sounds like a good story." They talk a little bit about the book, and Bert has to go. And Bert says, "Don't worry, God's got this." And he goes, Larry goes, "I know." And it's just odd. But that's the first everyday miracle for me. Like that man said that came through the church and prayed for me and said, "It will be different now." Boy, was he right. But I already got the issue of money solved. I don't know what this guy's saying about me, and it doesn't matter. They called Christ Beelzebub. What compared to that is mine? Well, I would find out all kinds of. "I can't believe you did that, Larry. Consider our friendship over." Click. Literally written click on the thing. She, he goes, "Oh, well, whatever." And of course, yeah, God says, "Don't say a thing." So he doesn't. He gets a few of these. He gets home. He's a little shook by all of this because he hasn't had a clue what he's done, but apparently something terrible. And he's shares with his wife that he has no clue. Shares with his wife that the book series has been, and she goes, "Wow, that's awesome." She goes, you know that um, position for the accountant that I've been after for a while, and you said that you might just stop working and start writing? Well, start writing. We got it. And she turns the phone around. That's the signing bonus. He goes, "Ooh, nice." And he takes his phone and he says, "Well, this is what we got from work, not much. But it paid off some things." He said, "So that's good." He said, "This is the thing." Ooh. She goes, "Yeah, that'll help." And he said, "I feel everything's going to be all right." He goes, "It's going to get stormy. Be prepared. The CEO and son is going to make a mess. We're not going to be living here alone. This house hasn't worked for us for a while. It's too small. It doesn't meet Bevy's needs, does it?" She goes, "No, it doesn't. Poor little one. Run around in a chair and has to be carried half everywhere. She's getting sick now. She's getting more independent and wanting to be places." Oh God. Oh, don't worry. I have an idea. My dad, when he died, had only one piece of property. It's by the sea, Newcastle. I know we're in, Washington, D.C., yeah, yeah. But we're going to require to leave here. She goes, "That's all right." She says, "I was talking to the real estate guy this morning. He's wanting to buy the house yesterday, so we can be gone in 2 days." "Well, what do you want to take from here?" She goes, "Not much." "Well, what about your great job?" "Oh, don't worry about that. I can do that from home. Fly in once a week or whatever I need to do." At that point, she gets a ping. Um, we're shifting your position, and she texts back, "Okay, we want you to be totally remote." She goes, "Hallelujah, that works perfect. I'm moving to Newcastle." They said, "Why? That's where my husband's dad's property is. It's on the lake. It's or on the ocean, I guess," she says. "It's on water. Looks kind of nice to me. Bigger than ours." Well, we have heard some things about your husband. Well, you know what? If you wish me, you wish me. If you don't, you don't." So she sends these texts back and forth. This ain't, a thing. But he comes back and he goes, "I like you. So yes, we do wish you, and it's going to be totally remote. It's a different position, less money. Is that okay?" She sends back, "Fine." And we want you to do forensic accounting. She goes, "Awesome. Love that." So that's done. And the son comes over and goes, "Newcastle, perfect. Why?" "Well, as you know, I've been dating this girl for a while, and well, she's from Newcastle." "Oh, and she got me a job at the plant where her dad works, meat plant. So don't worry about food, Dad. We're going to have lots of it. Apparently, they make the best sausage and stuff." And wow, well, that's awesome to hear. And you got to pat me on the back. I'm engaged. When do I get to meet this wonder? Uh, well. She's on a mission trip right now, but she'll be back in a week, and we could all meet at Dad's house. I'm looking forward to living there. Well, that's one dealt with, and Bevy rolls up and goes, "Dad's house is big. I can roll around that house, no problem. Can I have the bedroom on the bottom floor?" "Yep, you can. Because we're going to take the cabin out back." "Oh, I'm going to turn that into a mommy and daddy place." "Hmm. You'll be invited, of course." But you're old enough to be on your own at night, and if you have a problem, you know where we are. We'll put it all together. You'll see. So they start moving around, and the son goes, "Well, I already got my bags packed of what I'm keeping. Everything else can stay." So they phone a couple of places, and well, the Diabetes Society comes and gets some stuff, and the second oldest son, there's like four of them running around here somewhere. Goes, "Hey Dad, do you want me to digitalize all the photography that you have and your mom and all those old pictures so you don't have to take them with you? They're a little musty and moldy from the basement." "Oh no, not again." "Yep, yep, but I'm already on it. It'll take me about a day or two." And that's my 9-year-old, smarter than me with computers. And by the way, can we take Eggy? Of course we can take Eggy. That's his minor. It's been not dropping anything. He goes, "Not true. Last night it dropped a coin." "And how much is that worth?" "Well, we're still negotiating, and I'm going to need Dad because I can't do that on my own." But it looks like about 150,000 that they're willing to pay for it. Oh my. Well, that's that. Well, that'll help out Bevy, right? I mean, that guy in Japan said he could do an operation. Maybe Bevy could walk. Bevy claps and goes, "That would be fun." Although I don't know. Kind of like my chair too. I'm not upset at God that God put me this way, but if it can be fixed, I'll go for that. So as things go, the house is sold pretty quick, which is good because his reputation is dying and everybody is getting angry at him and he doesn't really care. And finally, in his own time, he gets a paper sent to him from the Washington Post about who he'd been and what he had done, and that there's no absolute proof, but that he has done this. His son is not a liar, dot, dot, dot. And God just says, don't say a thing. So he doesn't. But at one of his, about a year later, his first book is out, second one is on its way. Um, the wife is buried under work, but enjoying herself immensely, and they get time together in the cabin, and that works. And the 6-year-old was taken over by his oldest son and his new wife. They had a beautiful, absolutely amazing wedding at the house, and for somebody having a tanked uh, reputation, and he'll finish off those books, but he's also got a Christian person going, "I hear from God that you have a book to write." He goes, "Yes." They called him Beelzebub. And the guy goes, "Oh, I want that one." That sounds like a book. And he goes, "Well, it's just, you know, God doing God. I'll just be the mouthpiece." Guy goes, "Great." He goes, "Well, we'll put that out for you. And by the way, would you do a speaking engagement on that at my church in Vermont?" And he goes, "Yeah, yeah, no problem." He said, "I'll come and talk about the concept, and uh, that's fine." And he goes, "You do realize that my rep," he said, "Yeah," he said, "about that. Um, God's working on something." That's all I can say. I'm a little bit of a prophet, but not much, but sometimes. And I just know God is working on something. He goes, wow, okay. So he's got this little trip up to Vermont with his family, right? His son and new wife and Bevy have taken off for Japan, and son's big and burly. And it is amazing to him because he's seen so many everyday miracles, but not the way that he thought. And his son was right. Yeah. He had been working there, and this was their vacation, and they're going to have fun with Bevy and, you know, bounce forward another couple of years. And it can't really be explained, but his reputation has been restored, and everything that he supposedly did has been found out that the son did, and it's all sorted out. And he's fine because he now has all five of his books out and is working on his next series. And they're not bestsellers, but they're definitely doing well. And his book of They Called Him Beelzebub is the top seller on the Christian market. And Bevy runs up the stairs and goes, I'm still getting used to the running thing, but it's working. A mountain and a mountain of everyday miracles. Let's leave it there. Well, Father, I'm going to do this backwards. This is the way you seem to be leading, so. Well, that got me emotional. But God, that's what you do. That's all I can say. Nothing is the way that we see it, but everything happens according to what it is meant to be. Whatever that is, however that moves, whatever happens, whatever occurs, that's the truth. And God, we just lay it at your feet. And as we always say, that if this is their first or 100th time, it doesn't matter. You wish to meet with them, to be introduced, or to go deeper and deeper and deeper. So I ask you to push back the enemy so that this can occur. I ask you, Father, to just reign, rule, and be with us all. And let us be okay with your ways because they're higher than us. Your thoughts way higher than us. And you are the one that sees around corners and sees everything coming together. I know that we all require answers. Some of us are in that desperate phase because our belief structure hasn't quite reached where it required to reach. But we can always say, Oh Lord, I do believe, and help me where my belief isn't present, and you will help us. So we ask for that, for our immediate daily bread, for every piece of nourishment we require, for everything that is to nourish us. And we ask you, O God, to move and have your being in our lives. Give us the courage and strength to go forward even when we are seemingly dashed against the rocks. Yet if we look, there are no cuts, no breaks, no brokes. Nothing is broken. And your hand is right between us. And that's the truth. So for every single person that is sitting in that place where God hasn't done what they thought God would do, get ready because he's going to do something in a way that you may never completely understand, but it will be for your good. And I just say that and know that and leave it there and say thankful, grateful, gratitude, thankful, grateful, gratitude, thankful, grateful, gratitude. Standing in awe, I'm literally silenced by your power and presence in this moment. And I give you all the glory, Father, Spirit, Son. And I say, Amen. And the only blessing that I see to give you is God's presence. So that's where I'll leave it. Now, this has been a bit of an emotional ride for me for who knows what reason, but it has been. And I leave it with you. It's yours. Remember, when you rest, rest well. When you wake, wake well. And know that your path is well lit by God. Blessings. Truly, blessings to you.